Hello everyone, in this video I will tell you what snow is, how it is formed, what are its benefits and harms. I hope you like my video and subscribe. Have a nice watch. Due to solar heat, water resources on Earth continuously evaporate and rise into the atmosphere. Not only seas and lakes, but also plants and animals contribute to evaporation via transpiration. Water vapor is lighter than the density of the air we breathe. Thus, it can rise and form clouds. As the temperature of the air increases, the amount of water it can carry also increases. In other words, we can say that the water carrying capacity of air is related to heat. When evaporated water is not saturated with enough moisture, it remains suspended in the atmosphere in gaseous form. We observe this as a cloud. When water vapor is sufficiently saturated with moisture, weather events occur depending on the temperature of the atmosphere. Snow is formed when water vapors in the air freeze before turning into water. When the temperature in the clouds falls below to sea, gaseous water vapor condenses on dust particles in the air and freezes. Thus, snow particles are formed. These particles combine to form snow crystals and form many different shapes. When enough crystals stick together, they become heavy enough to fall to the ground, where snowfall can be observed. If the temperature is higher than to sea, the snowflake melts and falls as sleet instead of snow, and if the weather is warmer, it will rain. Sleet is also formed by small rain particles that freeze as they fall. The snow that has just fallen on the ground causes more than 90% of the sunlight reflected to the earth to be reflected. Snowfall is directly proportional to the altitude of the region above sea level and its distance from the equator. A very small portion of the large amount of snow formed in the atmosphere falls on the mountains. Snowflakes that fall in regions other than the mountains generally melt as they approach the earth and fall to the ground as rain. This is why the high mountain peaks are pure white when there is no snow in the area where you live. Snow that falls during the winter melts slowly and feeds both underground and surface water resources. In this way, agricultural and public water requirements are met. In other words, the type of rainfall we need to renew water resources is snow. In addition, it protects the microorganisms and eggs of various living creatures underground from the cold. Since snow contains air, it protects plants and hibernating animals from freezing. Just like a warm blanket, it ensures the preservation of food stocks, thanks to the insulation it provides. In fact, in very cold regions, people build their houses using snow because ice is less dense than water, and the space inside makes it difficult to conduct heat. It is a very convenient material for protection from cold. Snowfall is a type of precipitation that occurs in cold climates. Tundra climate and Arctic climate are the coldest climate types. In the tundra climate, the average temperature in the hottest month is 10 degrees at most, and winter months, temperatures can drop to -40 degrees. Tundra climate. It is a climate seen in the high mountains of northern Siberia, northern Canada and the central zone. The average annual temperature is below 0 degrees. It can be seen even when the temperature drops below -40 degrees. Regions with a continental climate are favorable for snowfall. In the continental climate, the winter months are very cold and long. In the summer, the dry and hot weather is experienced. In the continental climate, the annual average temperature is around 10 degrees. Snowfall during the winter months is one of the most intense types of precipitation in the continental climate. Flaky. It is a type of snowfall that occurs with the falling of large snowflakes. This shape is also called bird's head snow. Blizzard. Snowfall is snowfall accompanied by winds faster than 56 kilometers per hour. In a blizzard, visibility decreases and walking and driving become sleet. The snow that melts while still in the sky falls like rain, and this rain-like snow is accompanied by snow in its normal flow. During sleet, rain and snow appear to fall together. Graupel snow that is smaller than normal snowflakes. and falls harder is called graupel snow. Dry snow in extremely cold weather and low humidity. Snow crystals smaller than 1 millimeter in diameter are formed. Since the snow forms a thin layer on the ground, it does not melt immediately and does not wet the environment. Benefits of snowfall. On days when drought is talked about, why should it snow? We wanted to remind you of the benefits of snowfall with the question. Let's not forget that snow is a very beneficial form of precipitation for all living things and nature. One of the biggest benefits of a good snowpack is that snow acts as an excellent soil insulator. Without snow, very cold temperatures can freeze the ground deeper. This can result in damage to the root systems of trees and shrubs. The insulating effect of snow also helps protect perennials, bulbs, ground covers, and strawberry plantings from alternating freeze and thaw cycles. Snow also helps preserve soil moisture throughout the winter. Snow provides protection against wide temperature fluctuations in the soil. Under the snow, the roots of perennial plants, bulbs, ground covers, and strawberry plants are protected from the freeze-thaw cycle. Without snow, milder temperatures and sun warm the soil surface. Damage from soil heaving can break roots and dry out plant parts. Snow also helps preserve soil moisture throughout the winter. Plus, as snow falls into the atmosphere, nitrogen sticks to the snowflakes. Nature provides a type of fertilizer support to plants. As the snow falls, it also helps the seeds make better contact with the soil. Snow cover keeps perennials and bulbs from growing on a warm day in winter. A snow cover may be a form of winter protection for trees on unusually warm days in winter. Woody plants may sense the warmer air temperature in their canopy and try to take moisture from the soil. If the ground freezes and there is no snow insulation, these plants can be seriously damaged. The water that plants need is provided by rainfall or in the form of irrigation. But snow is very important here because the water produced by rain can be lost through surface flow. But snowfall is more important because it slowly leaks and goes underground. It can be given to plants when they need it. That is why snowfall is very important. Thanks to snowfall, elements such as calcium, magnesium, and iron are dissolved, thus meeting the element the soil needs. In addition, the ammonia contained in the snow structure is dissolved by nitrogen bacteria in the soil and converted into nitrogen, and the nitrogen need of the plant is met. Since the temperature drops slightly thanks to snowfall, the damage of cold on plants is eliminated. Also, the rodents and other harmful pests in the soil disappear by filling the galleries with water. The damage they cause to the plants is also eliminated. Viruses and bacteria that cause infections in the respiratory tract are generally transmitted through air and contact. In other words, the main reason for the transmission of viruses that disappear with snowfall and cold weather is not weather conditions, but our body's loss of resistance with seasonal changes. Because, according to experts, when it does not snow, the microbes suspended in the air cause diseases to increase. For this reason, prevention is very important before treatment. Experts emphasize the importance of taking vitamins and fruit supplements that strengthen the immune system against colds, consuming plenty of fluids, a balanced diet, and rest. While snowfall has its benefits, it also has its harms. Excessive snowfall can cause roads and transportation to be blocked, damage homes and businesses, reduce energy savings, or endanger human lives. Snow can have adverse effects for some plant and animal species. For example, plants under snow cover cannot photosynthesize. Some animals have difficulty finding food or freeze. Snow may contribute to the spread or exacerbation of certain diseases. For example, when snow melts, mosquito breeding may increase. Breathing of dust and polluted air may increase during snow shoveling operations. And snowflakes may cause skin or eye irritation. Snow and ice create reflective surfaces, increasing the amount of sunlight entering our eyes. Winter sports, especially at high altitudes and outdoors, cause our eyes to be more exposed to the sun's harmful ultraviolet UV rays. The sun's UV rays cause damage to the transparent layer of the eye cornea, causing burning, stinging pain, light sensitivity, and temporary blurred vision. To protect yourself from snow blindness, be sure to wear UV-filtered goggles while skiing and other snow sports. If you experience pain and vision loss in your eyes, consult an ophthalmologist immediately. If you notice vision changes in cold weather, immediately move to a warm area. If your vision does not improve within 30 minutes, see an ophthalmologist. Snowfall negatively affects human life in terms of transportation and cold weather. After snowfall, ice and freezing occur on the roads. From time to time, traffic difficulties rise. A frequently used practice during heavy snowfalls is salting the roads to prevent the danger of icing. However, scientists say that using rock salt on roads is harmful to life, and best practices should be quickly disseminated, saying that the number of salted streams is alarming. The research emphasizes that the EPA chronic chloride threshold of 230 milligrams per liter has increased 20 to 30 times in some regions. The magnitude of the road salt pollution problem is significant and requires urgent attention, says study lead author Dr. Bill Hintz, assistant professor of ecology at the University of Toledo in Ohio, US. I hope you liked the video. See you in the next video.